Hello, Dr. Hartman and viewers. This is Group 4 in the Summer 2018 CIS 300 class, giving our presentation on the Equifax cybersecurity breach of 2017.
Hello, my name is Harper White, and today I'll be providing you with a brief history and overview of the 2017 Equifax security and data breach. For those of you who are not familiar, Equifax is one of the 3 largest credit reporting agencies in the world, and their headquarters are based in Atlanta, Georgia. They sell credit monitoring and fraud prevention services directly to consumers. And despite their commercial success in the past, disaster struck in September of 2017 when Equifax announced that the sensitive data of over 143 million consumers had been breached. Now, the problem didn't start in September of 2017, but rather about 6 months earlier in March of 2017, when the company's online Apache programming application was deemed vulnerable by hackers. Despite attempts to repatch or fix this vulnerability in their application, Equifax's security department failed to do so properly and then discovered more suspicious activity within their network in July of 2017 and finally took the application offline. Now, they didn't initially announce to the consumers that this was a problem or that the consumers' data was potentially at risk, but rather they hired an outside cybersecurity firm, Mandiant, to take a closer look at what caused the breach and just how many consumers were affected by this breach. Not only did they find that closer to 150 million consumers in the United States' data had been compromised, but over hundreds of thousands of United Kingdom and Canadian consumers' data had also been breached in the process. Now, what did conductors of the hacks access in the hack? Most of times we think that they'll hack credit card numbers or bank accounts. And not only did the hackers do so, but they also accessed the names, social security numbers, birth dates, driver's license numbers, and address of consumers, leading them to years of identity theft and credit card fraud. And although the breach itself was a disaster, many say the way in which Equifax responded to the breach was even more of a problem. Now, I mentioned that the breach did not begin in September of 2017, but rather long before. Following the final attack or mega breach by hackers, customer data was exposed for more than 6 weeks between July and September before Equifax announced to the 143 million affected that their data had been breached or compromised. The problems don't stop there. Immediately following this breach, Equifax created a separate internet domain called equifaxsecurity.com, where potential victims of the hack were asked to put in their last 6 digits of their social security numbers in order to see if they had been exposed to the cybersecurity hackers. Now, not only did this separate site cause consumers to be a bit weary about the information they were putting forward, the site also contained many bugs that could have been harmful to consumers. What did experts in the cybersecurity world have to say about Equifax's response to the problem? I'll tell you first of all, they weren't very positive responses. According to cybersecurity expert Michael Sutton, although there have been hacks of larger scales affecting more consumers, such as the Yahoo mega breach, the Equifax breach of 2017 was far more severe due to the type of information that was accessed in the hack. Because people accessed social security numbers of consumers, Mr. Sutton argued that this was a much more severe attack because social security numbers have a permanent and lasting effect on one's credit report and could lead consumers into a lifetime of financial issues. Additionally, President of Bernstein's Crisis Management, Jonathan Bernstein, argued that the Equifax security team should have had a very comprehensive and set out plan in order to respond to a breach of this kind, but rather did not, and instead made the situation much, much worse by waiting to respond 6 weeks after the initial breach. It's clear that Equifax breach of 2017 was a catastrophic event. However, the way in which Equifax officials responded to the breach was absolutely egregious. In the following report, our group will analyze the poor decision made by Equifax and conduct a plan of action uh, in response to the 2017 breach.
Hi, I'm Savannah Moe, and I am talking about the statement of the problem. I found Equifax's chief executive, Rick Smith's statement of the problem on YouTube, and I actually attached it into the PowerPoint so everyone can watch it and kind of understand what I'm talking about. But he just kind of explains the whole breach situation and what happened and what he's doing to help it, and just kind of goes into more details since so many people were affected. I think it was great that he posted it to the website, but it is not, it could definitely be a lot better. He tries to show like that he cares about the situation, but just his tone of voice and his facial expressions and everything about it, he just seems like he doesn't care. And he actually called the breach a disappointing event for our company, and it just sounded very insincere, and that's just not something that people want to hear when they realize the seriousness of this breach and how big it is, because these data breaches happen every few weeks for all these data companies, but this one was just so serious and so big that I think it needed to be a little bit more personable and more serious, and he should have been more sincere while he's talking to millions of people who are going through this and who have had their social security numbers and their credit card numbers and their birth dates and their addresses nearly hacked. And so definitely a lot going on. But Senator Mark Warner said this quote, and it really just kind of stuck out to me, but it says, "It is no exaggeration to suggest that a breach such as this, exposing highly sensitive personal and financial information essential for identity management and access to credit, represents a real threat to the economic security of Americans." And that, I don't know, something about that just, I don't know if it's the way it's worded or what, but it just really kind of let me realize how serious this breach was. Just because we hear about these breaches and we know they happen all the time, and what's different between this and the other ones, but this is a threat to the security of Americans. Their social security numbers and everything about them was hacked and compromised, and that needs to be taken seriously. And Rick Smith's video that he posted was just not something that I would be taking seriously, and I think honestly that would make me more mad if I had seen that after knowing my everything about me had been exposed. So I kind of recreated a statement of the problem, and basically it's in the next slide, but basically I just said how we at Equifax want all our consumers to feel protected and valued, and that all their information is safe with us. And then explain what happened, which I did, the cybersecurity incident that affected all of our consumers. And then I just discuss how we are trying to fix it, and that we're going to work hard to deliver our best solutions for all of our consumers who had been affected. And yeah, it's short and sweet, but I think that is a better way to handle the statement of the problem than going and making a video that's just very insincere and very he just is like a brick wall, just very plain and not much to him. So yeah, I just came up with that and thinking that that would be a better way to approach the situation and announcing it, especially when you're announcing something as serious as this months after it actually happened. We at Equifax want all of our consumers to feel like their personal information is safe and protected by us. Sometime in May, we had a cybersecurity incident that affected many of our valued consumers. We realize how serious this breach is, and it cannot be ignored. We are providing all of our consumers with a website to determine if their information has been stolen and free identity theft protection. We are working hard to deliver the best solutions for all of our consumers who have been affected.
Hi there, I'm Cameron Friedrich, and I'm here to give a brief overview on our recommendations to how Equifax should have handled their 2017 cybersecurity crisis. I'm also going to take a more detailed look into our first main recommendation. Our plan of action has 3 core steps. We have named these Own the Situation, Steps to Protect, and Brand Recovery. Our first recommendation, Own the Situation, is exactly as it sounds. We're going to want to stand and fight against the situation that has occurred here at Equifax. As Mr. Gutman most confidently put, we're going to want to be bold, be honest, and own what happened during a PR-related crisis. We're going to notify all stakeholders with a consistent and clear message, as well as be as transparent as possible and commit to going above and beyond in information security and providing for our customers. Our second core recommendation, Steps to Protect, focuses on our customers and the steps that we're going to take to remedy the situation. This includes partnering with a leading cybersecurity firm to patch and monitor our database, as well as opening a dedicated hotline and website to communicate with our customers. Via direct mail and email, we are also going to offer a comprehensive support package to all of our customers free of charge. Our third recommendation, Brand Recovery, focuses on the steps that we believe Equifax should take to repair their image following this crisis. This includes hiring an outside expert with experience in cybersecurity and PR-related crisis, and further improving their security and monitoring practices. We also recommend that Equifax partner with other credit and cybersecurity firms and government agencies to further expand their security platforms. As mentioned, our first recommendation is to own the situation. Within the past decade, cybersecurity and ensuring the American citizens' privacy has been a growing concern. Individuals and companies get hacked daily now, and back to the wise words of Mr. Gutman, it's how they deal with the post-incident collateral damage that differentiates them. Some organizations go silent, others deny, while others downplay the scale of the incident. We want to make sure we do neither of these here at Equifax, as doing such would break the trust built between our customers, shareholders, and business partners. We must be upfront, honest, and notify our stakeholders and officials immediately of the breach and reaffirm our commitment to keeping our customers' information safe. This is to be detailed in our press release to be given to the public ASAP. The information we provide must be honest, consistent, and non-contradictory, especially on social media and our press release. The company's PR and social media teams are going to struggle the most in this situation. It is important that all of Equifax's social media platforms apologize for the inconvenience and direct consumers' complaints and questions to a separate secure website and dedicated hotline. As Mr. Britton details, Southwest Airlines seem to have forgotten that such a crisis is bound to impact all of their social media channels, even Instagram. The company failed to post an apology or even acknowledge the situation on the Instagram account, and instead chose to feature its typical content. As a result, the account received hundreds of angry comments, and all of them went unanswered, surely leaving a bad taste in the mouths of many followers. The memo, which is to be sent out immediately from the Director of Cybersecurity, notifies the employees of the incident in the mandatory meeting to debrief them on the efforts being made to help our consumers and remedy the situation.
So the document that we're looking at right now is actually an email that was sent out on behalf of my crisis team and I, and sent out to our supervisor. Firstly, just saying that, we recognize that the breach happened, obviously, and we understand the severity of the information that was released, and again, the severity of the breach. That's the first part. The second part is also to offer some short-term and long-term solutions. Short-term immediate solutions include a website that is called EquifaxSecurity2017.com, where consumers can go and do a number of things. One of the bigger things is requesting a free credit score report, just so they can make sure all their information is safe and matched up, and that nothing has been changed. Another thing that they can do is freeze their credit scores, or their credit reports, just to make sure that nothing can be tampered with, and putting a lock on that temporarily. And that's just so they know if they are affected, some things that they can try and do while we try and get help to them. And as far as long-term solutions, like we've mentioned, we're bringing in an outside security team, in addition to the security team that we have, just to make sure that not only do we deal with this issue, but we're proactive in dealing with any other breaches or issues that might come up, just as a way to let consumers know that we take this very seriously and we are very dedicated to making sure nothing like this happens ever again. Another solution, long term but also short term functional, is a call center that we're trying to set up within the next few days where consumers in the short term situation that have been affected can call and kind of figure out what else they can do. And in the long term, just so anyone who uses our services has somewhere to call and they can have direct one-on-one conversation with an Equifax expert and kind of get some information so they can move forward with anything that they need to do. Piscicata in 2010 said, "These days, transparency and immediacy are the two critical elements of any crisis response." We wholeheartedly believe in that, which is why we're trying to be as transparent and as immediate as possible and making sure that consumers know that we have their back and that we're here for them.
All right, so for the steps to protect for Equifax, a few of the things that they could do is, one, they could partner with outside consultants to help assess issues with their product and provide a safer product for customers to use. They could introduce a customer bill of rights, and by providing this, they would allow customers to see the regulations that the company has set on itself and how it can help customers in the future. As a result of the breach, Equifax has said that they are going to invest about $275 million into the company, and some of this money could be used on things such as free credit monitoring and free identity theft protection for customers. Alright, so for Equifax's brand recovery, a few of the steps they've already taken is they've replaced their executives that allowed the breach to reach such a massive breaking point with executives that have handled more recent scandals and incidents with transparency and responsibility. Instead of being known for the breach, one thing that they can aim to do is being known for being leaders in security and providing the best and most up-to-date protection for customers. And it's also very important that they enforce company-wide legislation. In a not very regulated section of business, this is very important so that way customers feel safer with their information.
On July 29th, we have detected a breach here at Equifax that has the potential to impact 150 million U.S. citizens. We've immediately partnered with a leading cybersecurity firm to patch and monitor our database. I deeply apologize for the incident and putting our loyal customers at risk. We are committed to strengthening our cybersecurity defenses, monitoring policies, and supporting you, the consumer. For more detailed information on the incident, as well as our comprehensive support package that we are offering all of our customers free of charge, please visit the website or call our 24/7 dedicated hotline that you can find below.
Thanks to the presentation by my teammate. In conclusion, we decided that this is not just a single event that happens to a company. Instead, it's a challenge to the whole society. Even though the crisis had affected millions of people in US, there are still pros and cons in this event. The benefit of this crisis is how much it raised the awareness for the whole society about their personal identity security. For the company, it's an opportunity that it could become the leader of cybersecurity improvement. However, to solve the problem, you still need a correct attitude as well as a proper planning. Our alternative three-step plan will allow us to show the correct determination to our stakeholder. It will first allow us to show the honesty and prevent our customer from panic. The recovery solution we choose to perform will compensate the sufferer of this attack and prevent unexpected damage. Furthermore, we will act to recover our customer confidence toward the brand and present our preparation for any unexpected problem in the future. It is very hard to handle a crisis like this. However, it still could become an opportunity for the company. It requires an honest and responsible reaction to maintain the reputation of the brand and satisfying our customer and stakeholder. If the crisis could be taken care wisely and satisfyingly, the company could be able to maintain or even improve the core value through this event. That sums up our presentation. Thank you very much.